Good morning / afternoon, my peoples. My peoples, my peoples, my peoples. It's going to be a short one today, okay? At least for right now. Making a run right now, and just wanted to talk to you along the way. I'd like to say thank you for everybody that watched the video yesterday that I did. I actually had some pretty interesting views on that topic that I did yesterday about the difference between chameleon and spirituality. So, someone was brave enough. Somebody was actually brave enough to say, hey, I like to talk to you about that. I like to give you my input on some type of explanation about it. So they agreed to do a live with me Friday. It's supposed to be Friday at 9 a.m. Okay? So we're going to get that right there going. But to get into what I want to talk about, was when I'm talking from a standpoint of trying to know right now, when people go through the things that I've went through, when people go through a traumatic experience like that right there, they looking for some answers, and they want some right now type answers. You know what I'm saying? And the answers that you need right now, they're not going to come to you clearly if you're not within the spiritual realm, because you're looking for those answers from the spiritual realm on the physical end. So what are you trying to do? You're trying to make sense of everything that happens, right? You know what I'm saying? You in shambles, everything is all tore up, and for real, you really don't know what to think, right? Well, that's the part that I got stuck at. You know what I mean? Not knowing what to think, not knowing what to do, and all this other stuff. You get, your mind is really cloudy. So when people like myself, that feel like myself, when they go to looking for answers, sometimes, the hallelujah thing is not cutting it. Sometimes telling a person that it's okay, they're in the house of the Lord, that's not cutting it. That's not really heartfelt to the ears at that time. No, I know I didn't want to hear it, to be honest with you. I didn't want to hear that. I wanted to know more so of what was happening, what went on, what went wrong. You know what I mean? And then since then, so many things have changed, because see, while other sources was telling me to turn to this entity, it was another source saying that, hey, listen, pretty much this is what happened. Okay? On the spiritual realm, this right here is what happened. On the physical end, you know what happened. Okay? Somebody was, not doing good behind the wheel. Let's just say that. You know what I'm saying? So we know what happened on the physical end. My thing was, in me saying this right here, to get on the spiritual end of this right here, you're going to have to come away from that physical part. And see, that's where a lot of our spirit is being kept, relying and going off the things that we see physically. Because physically, you can't stay in that state, because you won't be able to grow nowhere. And that's where I found myself. I found myself doing that. You know what I'm saying? I when you talking about depression. Depression was an all-time high. And, because of the physical part, I told myself, you know what? Whenever I go in certain directions, I'm going to make sure I avoid that area where this stuff right here happened. But, it's certain things that will be put in place that will make you face your fears. And one of my fears was, a while ago, was I didn't want to pass that site again, because I didn't want to remember what I had to remember November 9th. You know what I mean? Well, in order for me to get around that, guess what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to go right past that site again, y'all. That's exactly what I got to do. I got to go right past that site again. So I'm on my way to a destination right now, and I'm just gonna ride past because hey, at least it's going my way. You know what I'm saying? This right here would have been my son's last ride, and this right here is what I mean by some type of divinity in there, man. Like I said, I'm still trying to make sense out of this, but look at this. I'm gonna ride. Y'all gonna ride with me for a minute, just till we get to where we got to go. Now, just imagine, because this right here is the route that was taken right here on Mound Road from where they were coming from, right? So just imagine just being on this road right here, y'all. Speed limit here is 35, quite obviously posted. Now, just riding down here, you just minding your own business, right? You doing your own thing. Everybody is where they supposed to be. I get this red light. That means stop. Quite obviously, some people don't know what the red light means. Now, the reason why I say divinity is because I'm traveling at a certain speed, man. This is what make me think that, you know, maybe this right here was the way that my son was supposed to leave. Hold on one second.
How far is Mound Road from here?
You on Mound. This is Mound.
I mean, 14 miles.
Straight ahead.
Straight ahead?
Yep, straight ahead.
Good, thank you.
I'm sorry. He threw me off. But I'm over here. I'm on Mound Road right now. He threw me off of what I was saying, y'all. But nonetheless, you know, I'm gonna travel down this road right here. And the reason why I say that is because, like I said, I'm going a certain mile per hour. You know what I'm saying? And so for these right here to connect at the same time, you know, just like perfectly put in place, that's what made me feel like, you know, just looking back at it, like maybe that right there was his way of getting up out of here. And one thing we know, y'all, is that when it's our time to go, we all know that we gonna go. We just don't never know what time is where it's gonna be and how it's going to be. But regardless to how it happens, you're going to end up at the same place. You're going to end up at the same place. So here we are approaching 7 Mile, y'all. Here we are approaching 7 Mile. Now, the light turned red for me. But this is where we at. 7 Mile. And Mound. Now, we over here. Well, we got to be in this lane right here. Somebody come from there, boom, hit your vehicle. This is what happens right here. So they quite obviously done moved everything now, which I expected them to do. So there's no more memorial or anything there, because what I was going to probably do was going to wind up cleaning it up anyway. But this right here is where everything happened at, right here. Come down here, flying, speeding. Light for me is green. I'm make sure ain't nobody coming through this time. Oh no, they just took the tree. Some of the stuff that they left behind. So that's what's left. You know what? I want to just see something real quick. This right here is what's left. They took the tree. It was a tree that was here. So now this right here is what's left. So I don't know, maybe I can come up here and put something together where we could fix this stuff. I don't know who did this right here. See, this right here wasn't here. We didn't represent this. Who did this right here? This is what I be talking about right here. Liquor bottles and stuff. This is a 7-year-old boy. So I don't know who came up here and did that, because I wasn't on that kind of time. But this is crazy. But yeah, they did remove the tree or whatever. they left that stuff. I just come back and I guess I fix this stuff up, man. You know, Sonic. So yeah, and everything just happened like right here, man. There's still stuff right here, man. Y'all can still see, you know, everything. Like, it hit this pole right here. This right here is still, you know. Man, there's still stuff here. And some of this stuff right here is from other cars, because I'm gonna tell you too, this right here is from hers, because the burgundy van, you can see this right here. This, you know. Sorry if I was. So yeah, all that stuff happened right here. When I get here, my son was laying somewhere along about like right here-ish, I want to say. I mean, it was a mess. It was a mess, man. It was a mess. But they done came by and cleaned up some of the stuff. Like I said, y'all still see some of the debris here. But it made it real hard for a long time to ride past here. I'm going to fix that up. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to fix that up. You know, for a long time, it made it like really hard to ride past here. One of the officers that was riding by, they seen me up here. They didn't say nothing, which is cool. But at least they did, you know, they didn't take everything. You know what I'm saying? They took that tree. That stuff looked real bad. You know what I mean? It looked real bad. But nonetheless, I use this right here moment as a moment for me of healing, to be honest with you. I take moments like this right here now and try to use them as moments of healing. You know what I'm saying? Because at one point in time, that ain't sound good. Okay, there we go. At one point in time, I used to, you know, avoid coming down this stretch right here. You know what I mean? I used to avoid it because, you know, the pressure of the last time I went down there, it was just the memories. You know what I'm saying? And when you take that type of memory and you able to pull through that, I promise you it's gonna make you stronger, because now I'm riding up here. I'm able to talk about this stuff right here like, you know, like it was just the next person now. You know what I mean? Like, and like I said, it take work. It takes work. I'm able to do that now. You know what I'm saying? And when you able to do that, you know, without feeling, you know, down, so to say, it shows growth. You know what I'm saying? So one of the things that I recommend to people that's going through anything like this is face your fear, man. You got to face it. Face it so you can be immune to it. When you immune to it, it don't bother you no more. And if it doesn't bother you anymore, then you can actually progress, because you're not stuck in a sunken place. You know what I'm saying? You're not stuck in a sunken place. You know? But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, y'all. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fix it up. I'm gonna try to find some type of way to fix something up where I could, you know, plant it right there. My brother-in-law said that he was gonna try to get some type of canvas up there where somebody would do a painting. He tried to get his daughter to do a little painting, the junior. But we'll see how that work out. But I am gonna get up there and take care of that right there, man. I'm gonna get up there and take care of that. You know. Yeah. Yeah, it used to be tight riding by there, you know. And Joanna Patterson, thank you. Thank you, Joanna Patterson. Because you was one of the ones that was there first. Joanna Patterson, she was there first. She seen everything, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people that seen that you know, is still struck by it, you know what I'm saying? You know, Again, it's not an easy thing to get over. I can guarantee you that. That's not easy to get over. It's not easy, trust me. And then it depends on the type of support you got. See, man, I had my support system is what really helped me through this right here, man. I had a really, really, really strong support system. I had a very strong support system, and they were excellent. I'm talking about spiritually and physically. I'm talking about they was perfect. They was on point. They was putting stuff, and this right here, the type of stuff that people that go through stuff like me, that's the type of stuff that they gonna need. They gonna really need some support. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about necessarily the support that come and pat you on the back, but some support that you could see yourself being useful in other places. You know what I'm saying? Where it would take off the stress of what they would probably have to go through if you didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, that was overwhelming, man. I'm talking about it was perfect, man. It was perfect. And for everything that happened, the way it happened, the fact that I didn't have to see my son in a coffin for real, I didn't have to look at him physically in the coffin, that probably would have did something different. So guess what? The Nice Funeral Home, they wrapped the coffin. Clora did that. You know what I'm saying? We asked for it and they did it. You know what I mean? All that was all Clora. You know what I mean? Clora Funeral Home. So I'm gonna give a shout out to them. I'ma always shout out Clora Funeral Home, man, for stepping in. They stepped in before we even knew if they caught anybody, for that matter. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Clora Funeral Home for that. Because before we even knew that anybody was in custody, we heard that Clora said that, hey, we gonna help out. And they did just that. So shout out to them for that right there, y'all. Because I'm telling y'all, the burden and the pressure of having to go through that right there was unbearable to me. And that right there was with the many resources that I had. For me to tell you that I didn't have no resources, I'd be sitting right here lying to you. I'm not gonna say that. I'm telling you that the pressure, the amount of pressure that was overwhelming at that time, y'all have no idea. Have no idea of the amount of pressure that was there. And at times, even now, it was spike. It was spike. That's where you start getting these outbursts. You know what I'm saying? Randomly. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say outbursts like you yelling at nobody, like you just start feeling down randomly. You know what I'm saying? You might just start crying randomly. You might be having a good day going on about your business, man, and then it just hit you. You know what I'm saying? And so that right there, once you can control that right there, and that's not easy to do either, though. That's not easy to do either. I ain't gonna act like it is. But once you can control that, though, you know what I'm saying? You can feel yourself healing a little better. But I'm gonna tell you something, it's tough. That's why I be trying to tell people when that girl lost her kids in that casino incident in the parking structure, it was a lot of people that was talking stuff about her, and I get it, I understand. She's subject to scrutiny. But I'm gonna tell you something, she still lost kids. You know what I'm saying? And that right there is that might be the top of all pain that anybody could ever go through. I promise you. I promise you, man. I don't think there's a pain harder than that, outside of losing more than one at the same time. And I almost did, because my daughter was on life support after that, after suffering a seizure and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so, and then the stuff that you endure along the way is all pressure. It's definitely not for the weak. So pray for the ones that actually go through this right here. You done lost a child, and guess what? This child do not have to be a kid, okay? This child don't gotta be no kid. This right here could just be your child, man. I don't care how old they is. They could be 19, they could be 40. Shit, they can be a kid, you know, like a toddler, man. It's still your kid, man. And it don't feel good. I don't care which way you try to dress it. So, you know, Tomorrow isn't promised to nobody. Just last night, you know what I'm saying, I took my son to go get his hair cut. The following day, I was saying bye. And I ain't even get a chance to see him the following day. You know what I'm saying? So y'all want to sit up there and keep on being mad at your kids and all that other stuff? Hey, that's on you. But tomorrow ain't promised to none of them. Tomorrow ain't promised to none of them, I promise you. And and should y'all have to separate from this realm and this stuff right here ain't straight between you and your child because of you? You ain't gonna be able to fix it no other way. And then you really gonna be up the creek. You know what I mean? So that's all I wanted to talk about, y'all. I'm at my destination right now. I just wanted to chit chat with y'all for a minute and let y'all know, hey, that's one of the ways that I go by doing stuff. The stuff that will really bring back the pain, I go toward it. That's what I do. I ain't gonna lie to you, because I done faced the hardest of the pain. So I just go toward it. And every time I go toward it, I can see it a little better, see it a little clearer now. You know what I'm saying? Still trying to make sense of it, y'all. I still ain't got it yet. That's why y'all on this journey with me, right? Because I haven't got it yet. You know, I'm still working at it. Still working at it, okay? I'm still working at it. So I don't want to hold y'all, man. Y'all have yourself a good day. Go to my YouTube page, Hey Uncle Ronnie. Type in Hey Uncle Ronnie. It's 3 different words. And I should pop up with me and my daughter on my page. I'm gonna start putting content and everything over there. Y'all go over there and subscribe to my page. If y'all don't do nothing else, just go over there and subscribe so y'all can get some notifications, because again, they only allow me 30 days here. So per video, you know what I mean? So go over there and subscribe. And like I said, if within the spirit, if it get within me, I'll come back with another video and everything later on. And like I said, I just keep y'all posted, you know, on what I do to try to at least come up out these slumps and try to make it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people ask, how do you do it? How do you do it? How do you do it? Well, when I jump on these lives and I tell you, that's how I do it. At least that's my method. My method ain't gonna work for everybody else, because my method is embrace the pain. That's my method, because once you embrace the pain, once that pain goes away, should that pain ever come back, you will be immune to it. You know what I'm saying? Stop running away from it, because the more you run away from what I feel that you should face, then it'll be just that much more easier to break you down. Okay? It'll be just that much more easier to break you down. Again, I promise you, like I said, it's not going to be a easy task, depending on where you at spiritually, because that's what you're going to have to rely on at that point. You can't rely on your physical no more at that point. You're going to have to rely on your spiritual at that point. And depending on how spiritually ordained you are. And you know what? I don't even like to say spiritually. I like to say spirit, because you know what? I'm sorry to have to change this, but I was just I'm sorry to have to go back. You know what I mean? But that video that I had yesterday about communion versus spirituality, which I like to now call spiritual. When you break that word down, ritual, spiritual. I'm just saying, maybe it was just me. So I'm like to talk in the spirit, not spiritual or spiritual. Okay. So when everything fails on the physical end, you have to rely back on the spirit, yours, okay? Your spirit, because that's where you're going to find the answer at. It's going to tell you, I don't know if you're going to be willing to accept it or not, but it's going to tell you. And not only that, when you find out the truth, that on the spirit level, your loved one is with you, you just got to look. They waiting for you to find them. They there. They just waiting for you. I'm going to tell you that right now. And I wouldn't say that right there if it didn't come to me and prove, because I'm a show me guy. Like I said, if it didn't come to me, there's no way I'd be talking like this. I'm like, man, okay, well, where? Show me then. They with me where they at, because I don't see nobody. See, you very low in spirit, thinking like that right there. You could tell by the things that come out of a person's mouth where their spirit lies. And so some of this stuff is going to go right over a person's head. Some of it going to make the person think that you're crazy. You don't respond to none of it. You just stay on task, because what you're trying to do is you are trying to heal you. That's what you're trying to do. But look, again, I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. Y'all have a good day, all right? Share this video, okay? And go to my page, Hey Uncle Ronnie, over there on YouTube, all right? Y'all have a good one.